Bambi, she brings sparkle to the world, raise a fish, she know her power. Chasing down the scales of justice, dropping truth every hour. Sunflowers on the spirit, glitter, unicorn up on the screen. Hey, my show is on. They twist facts, pick a verse, then pretend they made a case. But she read the whole opinion, now they quiet in the place. I don't wanna hear your story, baby, I just need the facts. I read the book, I did the work, got my people on my back. If you rockin' with the sparkle, then just hop up in the lag. If you're looking for the truth, then I'ma show you where it's at. I'll see on the table, all books in the stack. If you came to spin the truth, I'm gon' run the logic back. Don't cherry pick the scripture, don't remix what the law said. Don't quote half of history, then act like the rest did. I'm womanist with wisdom, got glitter in my fight. I can smile while I drag you with the statue in the sight. Newsroom, courtroom, TikTok with the lights on. Debate me if you want to, but your sources better stand strong. I don't wanna hear your story, baby, I just need the facts. Read the book, I did the work, got my people on my back. If you working with the sparkle, then just hop up in the lag. If you looking for the truth, then I'ma show you where it's at. Sparkle in the chat, justice on the track. If the math ain't math, then we gon' run the numbers back. Sunflower soul, but the mouthpiece got heat. Unicorn energy with the people in the seats. I came to teach, came to shine, came to question every claim. You can bring me your opinion, but the facts know my name. I don't wanna hear your story, baby, I just need the facts. Read the book, I did the work, got my people on my back. If you working with the sparkle, then just hop up in the lag. If you looking for the truth, then I'ma show you where it's at.
What's up, everybody? What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome in. Welcome in. Tap it up. Tap it up. Tap it up. Share the live. Welcome, 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 darlings. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right. How is everybody? How is everybody? How is everybody? How's life? How we doing this evening? I missed y'all. It's been a few hours and I haven't seen y'all. I missed you. Tap it up, tap it up, tap it up. We are just getting started. Come on in. Have a seat. Get something to drink out the refrigerator. It's fine. I cooked. Just make sure to put the foil back over the pan. Sam's here. God damn it, Sam. 243 days. I see you, buddy. Let's see. Shout out to the sparkle giving you energy to struggle through my life. A baby hippo, thank you. What's up, Kate? Y'all, I'm finding out some shit. Y'all. I gotta tell y'all some stuff. Well, it's one thing, but it's kind of crazy. I don't know if y'all heard. Now, I ain't one to gossip. Oh, child. Y'all want me to tell you? I mean, I could tell you, but I mean, you might already know. I don't know. You might already know. I don't know. Maybe you don't know. Maybe you do know. Did you see the message I sent? On what? I love you. What you sent me a message? Was it in Discord? Was it on here? It was in Discord. No, I didn't. Ooh, let's see what's going on in Discord. What? That wasn't my tea, but that's fucking crazy. Child, I see him. We will definitely get to that, honey. I gotta dig deep into that one first. But y'all, let me tell you about the shits. Y'all know listen. Y'all know I be digging deep in the news. It's kind of like my guilty pleasure. I know it's crazy, but Sarah Ferguson The former Duchess of York and ex-wife of Prince Andrew attempted to put one of Andrew's former girlfriends in contact with FBI Director Kash Patel shortly after Kash Patel took over the bureau. The woman was Lady Victoria Hervey, a British socialite who previously dated Prince Andrew and has publicly defended him over his connections to Jeffrey Epstein. And the timing is what makes this particularly interesting. The contact happened in March of 2025, weeks after Patel became the FBI director, while the FBI was reviewing its massive collection of records connected to Jeffrey Epstein. Okay, now, the sources that I collected on this were Bloomberg, because Bloomberg was telling the tea. It was Bloomberg, and hang on one second because I still have all of them up. Okay, Bloomberg, The Times, News 18, which is a local news channel, The Daily Beast, and WFIN. So I compared those articles to see what commonalities I could get. And those were the commonalities that I found. But I've got some more information. Hold on a second. We got somebody to talk to. Hi.
Hello?
Hello.
You're a big fat black mama.
Oh, okay.
Do you
Have a good
accept
day.
it? Do you accept it though?
So anyway, y'all. So, okay. So the details, according to emails contained in newly released FBI records, Ferguson contacted a U.S. diplomat in London. I couldn't find the name of who the diplomat was. Only one article had a name, but all of the other ones said that it just said a diplomat. So I'm not going to say that name until I have it confirmed. And asked for Hervey's contact information to be passed along to Patel. Ferguson apparently believed Patel had requested Harvey's information, but here's the bullshit. When Patel received the message, he responded by essentially asking, who is Victoria Harvey? That created confusion over whether Patel had actually requested the introduction in the first place. An FBI legal attaché then indicated that Patel had previously interacted with Harvey and Ferguson's assistant, Antonia Marshall. I've been trying to dig a little bit on Antonia Marshall. That is very limited information. However, the newly released correspondence does not establish why Patel or the FBI might have wanted to speak with Harvey, and the records reviewed in the reporting don't show a subsequent conversation between Patel and Harvey resulting from Ferguson's message. Now, here's where the Epstein connection comes in. Lady Victoria Harvey dated Prince Andrew during the late 1990s and has remained one of his most outspoken public defenders. She has also discussed Epstein publicly and has criticized some of the women who accused Epstein and his association of abuse. Harvey has additionally expressed support for Ghislaine Maxwell, who was convicted in the United States of helping Epstein sexually abuse underage girls. And then, hold on, that one was unverified. Let me move it. Oh, no. Do I want to do this? Not necessarily, but okay. What's up?
I don't know what's your problem with me. Is it because I made you look foolish last time? Why? Is that why?
Darling. What would you like to talk
I mean,
about
if you
today?
made me look foolish, you would
hey,
be like, "Oh, hell
hey,
yeah,
hey,
we got C-SPAN on the panel."
Slow down,
But
friend.
like, no, that's not how
It's
it
too
went,
late
right?
and too early.
Yeah,
Chill out,
exactly.
right? How old are you? Let's start there.
Yeah, 44.
Yikes.
How old are you?
Answer the prompt.
How old are you? I just want to make sure I'm talking to an adult person. How old are you?
Grown.
How old are you?
You
If I
can
would've
answer the
said
prompt or you
grown,
can
would it-
leave.
would
Which
it-
one
would
do
it
you
been
want to do?
okay with you
So do you
to
want to
fight?
leave or do you want to answer the prompt? Which one you going to do?
All right. Well, I mean, why can't I just know a little bit more about you? You're a pretty girl. God.
We're not friends. We're just having a conversation. So my
All
question
right,
to you
fine,
specifically
that's
is Trump
fine,
is
that's fine.
ruining America. Prove me wrong. What just happened? What just happened? Did somebody drop him? Okay, let's be careful with dropping, guys. We do want to make sure that we have some conversations tonight. I get it. It's annoying sometimes, but Miles, please be careful with dropping. Hi.
Hi.
Do you want to
Sorry.
address the prompt?
Trump is ruining America. Prove me wrong. In what way do you think he's ruining America? And then
The whole thing, it says prove me wrong, so that would mean you'd have to tell me what he's doing.
Trump running America? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. How would I prove
Ruining?
you wrong? Trump
I'm sorry?
is ruining America. Prove me wrong.
Correct.
So, what does ruining mean?
So how is Trump making America better? Let's start there.
Well, who said that?
I'm
Who said
asking
that?
if that's
You
not
think
what.
Trump's making America better? Me too. I love you.
How's he
I
doing
knew
that?
I liked you. I knew I liked you.
I can
very
hear
much.
you putting down the empty beer can. That's sad.
No, I
My
didn't,
question to you
actually.
specifically is, how is Trump making America better? If you don't want to have the conversation, we can end it.
Well, I'd like to have a conversation based on something.
There's a whole ass prompt.
Trump is ruining America. Prove me wrong. Okay, so his immigration policy is benefiting America.
What's his immigration policy?
His tax policy is
Wait. No,
benefiting
let's unpack this one thing at a
America.
time. What's his immigration policy?
Following the law. It's
What
amazing,
law?
right? The law that was already in place.
Okay, what law was
Amazing,
being
right?
broken?
People that break the law.
Yeah, you would have to tell me what law was being broken under the United States Code.
Well, I'm sure many of them are, but like he's just following them. He didn't make any new ones.
I guess I'm trying to understand. You specifically were talking
Like
specifically
that's
about
the difference between a good president and a shit president.
Relax. Hey,
Like
I get
somebody
it.
who
You got
follows
drunk and
the
you got some
law
liquid
and
courage to
somebody
come
who
up here and
doesn't.
yell and scream tonight. And I don't
Not
drink.
yelling
Nope,
or
everybody's not as
screaming.
drunk as you. So
And I'm not
just
drunk
relax.
either. And I'm not
Your
yelling
speech
or
is slurring.
screaming.
Your speech is slurring. Your mouth is over salivating. Right? I was an alcoholic for
My mouth
over
is
10 years.
over salivating.
Yes.
How so?
You don't hear the spit
You have a
coming out of the
video
sides of your
this
mouth?
or
Hey,
something?
listen, I'm telling you, I was an alcoholic for years, over a decade. I know when somebody's drunk. So my question to
Ooh.
you specifically, right? Let's have a
So
conversation.
you're
If you're going to have the
giving
conversation,
your
lock in.
disqualifications outright and then trying to blame me for your disqualifications.
I'm sober.
That's
I don't know what
amazing.
you're talking about.
I love that. I think that's amazing. That's great.
My question to you specifically
Yeah,
is,
no, I think
what law is
I think
Donald Trump
that's
upholding?
wonderful.
What
And
law
I
is
think
Donald
you
Trump
should
upholding?
be an alcoholic for
So what
another
law is
10
Donald Trump
years,
upholding?
and then come to
So
the
what law is Donald
knowledge
Trump upholding?
that you
Okay, I'll
have
let you
come
go.
to. Like, obviously, being an alcoholic for 10 years, you've really done some really good things with your life. I mean, what the fuck is wrong with you, girl? Like, how are you arguing for this? I'm asking you.
What was Donald Trump's immigration policy, and what? What is Donald Trump's immigration policy, and what laws was he upholding?
Yeah, that was a joke. I'm out of here. You're a fucking moron, girl. God, like this is dumb as fuck. I'll see you later. Bye.
Bye. I'm out of here. Well, I was thinking the same thing. Oh, this person's from, it says UK, so I don't know what's going on. Okay, so back to the tea. All right. So Sarah Ferguson has her own documented history with Epstein. Epstein gave Ferguson 15,000 euros to help with her debts. And Ferguson publicly described, but later accepting his money as a major mistake. Yes. The woman who basically said, she was gonna protect she was all for Ghislaine Maxwell, and told the girls, the survivors, that they were liars, said that it was a big mistake to take money from Epstein. Bitch, that's where you draw the line. Sorry. Anyway, back to your news. Oh, but later released correspondence that showed her relationship with Epstein continued after his 2008 conviction involving a minor. Hey, Jersey. Okay, so for everybody that's just joining us, we're talking about Sarah Ferguson, the former Duchess of York, and she was the ex-wife of Prince Andrew, and she used to fuck with him back in the 90s. And so she was like, oh, Epstein's great, and the girls are lying, and all of this extra shit, right? And she actually took money from him, and then come to find out, this girl sent a message through a diplomat in London to a minor, to Kash Patel, trying to tell him to get in touch with her. Okay, so now we're at the part where she has also discussed Epstein publicly. Wait a minute. Okay, hold on. Let me get back to where we were. Okay. In a 2009 email, Ferguson referred to Epstein as the, quote, brother she always wished for. And then there's Kash Patel. Before becoming FBI director, Patel had publicly argued for greater transparency surrounding the Epstein files after taking control of the FBI. Patel and other senior officials participated in the government's review of the Bureau's enormous collection of Epstein-related records. That's for those of you who don't know the backstory to this. Kash Patel is the head of the FBI, and he basically was involved in releasing the files, to which the releasing of the files was questioned because there were many files that were not released, and they were all supposed to be released. So if you are new and you've been living under a rock, that's pretty much what's going on here. Patel later testified before Congress about the FBI's handling and review of those materials. Okay, why does this matter? There are two things we should not conclude from this story. I want y'all to know, okay, because I can't be unfair. The emails do not establish that Sarah Ferguson committed a crime. So as of right now, we don't know if she committed a crime or not. What we do know is she was involved with some shitty people, and she might be a shitty person herself. However, the information that she sent, or the request that she sent, was not necessarily a crime, right? And they do not establish that Kash Patel was secretly working with Ferguson or Prince Andrew to influence the Epstein investigation. I say that because of the fact that we don't necessarily know the extent of the communication between those two. What we know is he responded and he said, well, who is she? And that is the only documented response that we have. What we do know, right, is that he wanted to know who she was. So my question would be, and I'm just going to say this is me allegedly, you know, in my own thoughts. If you, right, were wondering who this person was, did you have intentions on talking to them? You know what I'm saying? Like, who is Sarah? Who is that? And maybe you're just curious. But then at the same time, we also know this FBI doesn't have the cleanest hands. So what happened outside of the documented information, right? That is what we don't know. That is what we don't know. If we did know that, right? That would give us a little bit more information, but all we have right now is just a documented response. We don't know what happened outside of that. So it's not fair for us to make assumptions about something that we don't know, because that makes us just as bad as the shit that we're fighting, which is misinformation and disinformation. Hi. Louise, do you know you're here? I don't think Louise knows Louise is here. That's all right. Okay. So, we want to make sure, again, like I said, we don't want to make any, rush assumptions here, but bitch, why did you feel so comfortable reaching out to the FBI director? What made you feel like You could do that. Because see, here's the thing. Y'all always say, oh, they had the files the whole time and they didn't do shit with the files. Yeah. Why didn't they do that with the files? Oh my God, Biden didn't do that with the files. Obama didn't do that with the files. Oh my God, Bush didn't do that with the files. Okay, that's fair. Why she didn't reach out to them? The T girl. Why she didn't reach out to the other presidents? Why does she feel so comfortable reaching out to this FBI director? Things that make you go, So, like I said, they don't establish that Kash Patel was secretly working with Ferguson or Prince Andrew to influence the Epstein investigation. What they do establish is an unusual connection. While the FBI was reviewing one of the most politically sensitive investigations in America, Prince Andrew's former wife was attempting to connect the FBI director with Prince Andrew's former girlfriend. Girl. A woman who has publicly defended Andrew over the Epstein controversy. Girl. But girl. The tea. Okay. Now, because Ferguson herself had a relationship with Epstein, that makes the contact worthy of scrutiny. But again, there has been no crime committed that is documented as of yet. The biggest unanswered question, therefore, would be why was Lady Victoria Harvey potentially being connected with the FBI director in the first place? What did she want to know? Because here's my thing. If you are going onto public platforms and you're talking publicly about this particular situation and you're talking about Epstein and you're defending him at a time where everybody knows it's documented that he fucks kids. Number one, my question would be, why did you want to get in touch with Kash Patel? Number two, you judge by the company that you keep. What was you doing? Number three, girl, that was your man. Prince Andrew was your man. I can tell you right now, if Thunderbuddy went out today or tomorrow and he came home smelling like fruit roll-ups, or he came home and some crayons fell out his pocket, I mean, hey nigga, where was you at? Right? One thing about a man, I'm gonna say this, and I don't know very many men who are not. Men are extremely routine. Right? For example, when my husband, I can tell you everything he does in a day. He's going to get up in the morning, right? And he's going to go to the bathroom. He's going to pee. Then he's going to brush his teeth. Once he brushes his teeth and wash his face, he's going to come out. He's going to get dressed for work. As he gets dressed for work, he's going to make sure that he's making himself some breakfast. He's never going to let breakfast make him late. Not going to happen. And then once he get dressed, he's going to get everything together. He's going to tell the kids it's time to go. And then he's going to say the same thing. Have a good day. Be a leader, not a follower. Make good choices, not bad choices. And most of all, have fun, right? And then some days, if he's feeling it, he'll play the good day song for the kids. But comes downstairs, my son comes downstairs, because he's also a man, comes downstairs, does the same exact shit every day. Love you, mom. Bye. One arm hug, he's out of here. Kiss on the forehead. My husband's going to come in, and that's how I know he's about to walk out that door. And he's going to come in, he's going to give me a kiss, and he's going to say, have a good day. I love you, every single day. Every single day. He's going to walk out that door. He's going to get in that car. I'm going to get a Life 360 notification when he gets around that corner that says Thunderbuddy left home, right? He's going to go through his day. He's going to come back home. When he walks into the door, he's going to go to my daughter's room first, say hi. That's the closest room to the door. He's going to go to my other son's room. He's going to say hi. Then he's going to come in. He's going to give me a kiss, and he's going to say, hey, babe, how was your day? As he's asking me how my day is, he's going to be walking towards his nightstand so that he can put his keys and his wallet in the same exact place that he puts it every single day. He's also going to put his phone on the charger, because one thing my husband does not do is let his phone die. And then he's going to say, hey, are you cooking, or did you need me to grab something? More than likely, he doesn't even have to ask that question because it's already ready when he gets home. Then he's going to look at me and he's going to say, hey, I think I'm going to play my game for a while every single day. Don't know why you have to tell me this, but I guess it's just a part of the plan. Then he's going to go in the bathroom. He's going to take a shower. First, he's going to shit. Then he's going to take a shower. Once he's finished taking a shower, he's going to come out and he's only going to put coconut oil on the parts of his body that show. And then he's going to sit at this desk and he's going to play his game for about the next 2 to 3 hours. And then he's going to get in the bed and give me back shots. Did I get it? Is that right? A nod of approval. So, one thing about men is they are extremely routine. If your man is fucking a kid, you know. If your man fucking anybody, you know. Back shots are never unexpected. As a matter of fact, they're guaranteed. Just how that works, darling. Listen, the men are creatures of habit, and I think somebody said it in the chat. Men are creatures of habit. They're going to do the exact same thing the exact same way every single day. It just is what it is. If a man's routine changes, something about his life to motherfucking change, and it better not be a bitch. I tell you that now. Okay, but I will say, right, for the most part, men are extremely routine. Yes, any deviation from routine is obvious, right? So easy to please. Yes, unhinge your jaw, high fives, and make sure dinner's ready on time. Money will always be in your pocket. Coochie will always be ate. And whatever you want and desire will always be yours. You're welcome. So, anyways, as I was saying, you knew this man was fucking kids. Yeah, we gotta unhinge it. Not even gonna play with y'all. Listen. It's symbiotic. You take care of him, he take care of you. You're a team.
Not for real.
Supporter.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. How old are you?
19 years old.
And what is your date of birth?
2007, November 22.
What you got for me?
I want to talk about immigration.
All right, let's start there.
Yeah. I really enjoy how Trump has kept this country safer by getting the illegals out of here so we don't have as much as bad crimes as we have now.
Gotcha. What's the name of the immigration policy that's achieving that?
I don't know a specific policy, but it's obvious that ICE and immigration's enforcements have been doing well, especially Border Patrol. And also Trump has some false accusations of him. Have you heard of him going into a back dress room?
Hey, real quick, let's stay on immigration. I'm happy to talk about that in a minute. Let's finish immigration, though. My question to you specifically would be, what is the name of the immigration policy? Because if we don't have an immigration policy, that means that we're just throwing money at a problem. And if we're throwing money at a problem, that means that puts us further in national debt. So my question would be, what is the policy that's going to tell us how this immigration crackdown is going to be executed?
So if I don't give you a policy, that'll therefore make you think that it's not going to be able to. Can you still argue it? I can't give you a policy because I don't know it off the top of my head. Yeah,
so there isn't one. Is the point, right? And what's happening is we are spending $170 billion to put out $100 billion in revenue. So my question would be, since we don't know the policy, how are we going to replace that revenue?
That just sounds like we're kind of going into debt.
That's exactly what's happening. Yes.
Yeah, but
also if you haven't read the law, under the U.S. code, right? You now are paying more for immigrants than you've ever paid in your life.
Through taxes or through something else?
Well, yeah, because under 8 U.S.C. 1611, under their U.S. code, they can't collect any federal benefits like Section 8 or food stamps, Medicaid, anything like. They can't collect those federal benefits. So everything that they have to do has to be out of pocket, really. So what happens, right, is now they're in detention centers. So instead of them actually just being able to go to work and contribute money to our society, you're now paying for their socks, you're paying for the power to stay on, you're paying for the lease on the detention center, you're paying for their toothbrushes, you're paying for their food, you're paying for their water, their medication, everything.
I'm paying for undocumented immigrants to live in America.
You are correct. Now, more than ever.
But you don't agree and you think undocumented immigrants are better for America.
I think that at some point we're going to have to incentivize immigration simply because of the fact, right, that we are an aging country. Most of the boomers are going to be dead in 20 years. And so at that point, with birth rates being a little lower and boomers dying off by the day, we're going to end up having to incentivize immigration instead of having people here and just reforming the system so that we don't have that problem later. We're going to have to incentivize it, and that's going to cost us more taxpayer money in 20 to 30 years while we're still trying to get out of the debt of 2 wars and all of the debt that we've accumulated under this immigration, whatever this is.
Yeah. Do you believe in due process?
Yes, it's a constitutional right for anyone on American soil.
Do you believe in somebody illegally entering United States land?
I think it happens all the time, but I also think that when we have an efficient Department of Homeland Security, then we tend to get the people that are here. For example,
I'm asking
under
if
Obama.
you disagree or you agree. Do you disagree or agree with that? And then you can tell me.
Well, see, we can't speak in absolutes because whether I agree or not doesn't matter because we know that it's going to happen, right? There's really no way to avoid people coming into the United States. The United States there's no invisible shock fence all around the country. It just doesn't work that way. So people are going to come in. The issue is when they come in, how are we going to handle it? It doesn't matter if I agree or not. I can't run on feelings because that's a waste of my time. We have to run on reality. And reality says that people are going to come into this country and we need a system to be able to make sure that we weed out the bad ones and we incentivize citizenship for the good ones.
Yeah, but pretty much 80% of immigrants are probably going to do illegal crimes and
Perfect.
awesome.
I love that you said that because according to Pew Research and according to a study done by the state of Texas, it shows that immigrants actually commit property crime at a 2 times less lower clip, violent crime at a 3 times less lower clip, and drug crime at a 3.6 times lower clip. So I'm trying to understand exactly what you're talking about because what happens is when we actually see an uptick in immigration, we actually see crime go down. So I'm trying to understand exactly what you're talking about.
So you really want like Mexicans, Salvadorians, Hondurans in our country
Yes.
when you like they're not like they should be back in their country, man,
Why?
because they don't belong.
But didn't your people come here and steal this land?
It's our land now. We
It's
have it
not, though.
secured. We
Because
have it
see, the crazy
secured.
thing is you say that it's your land, but I'm trying to understand how it's your land when your people stole it. What exactly are you afraid of? Are you afraid that the thing that you stole is going to be stolen from you? I'm trying to understand.
There's no way possible that could happen.
Okay, then why are you upset? I love that you just confirmed my argument for me. So I don't get it.
No.
You're
Look, I
angry
didn't
at a minority.
No. I didn't
Thanks for the
confirm. I
concession.
didn't confirm your.
Beautiful.
No, I didn't confirm your argument at all. I just said that they couldn't steal our land because the amount of weapons, the amount of artillery that we have, the amount of army recruits and Marines that we have, there's no way they're going to be able to steal America's land.
Hey, quick question. Are all of our military American citizens?
No,
Oh,
but that's people that were born in America that had.
nope. You don't have to be born in America to join our army.
I mean, yeah, but if you're going to come over here, serve for the army and serve for America and say a war happens and you're going to have your life on the line, of course you should be allowed in America. But in the main point,
Oh,
if you're
well,
not,
then if that's the case, then why is Donald Trump arresting military spouses and why is he deported veterans?
probably because they're minorities.
Oh, so it's okay to put your life on the line, but if America says that they don't like you because you're brown or because they just don't feel like you belong, your life then doesn't matter. We just put you on a plane and send you out of here. I can't argue your humanity, friend. You're putting it out there yourself.
I mean, I believe America should be a white nation.
Do you?
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, when it was a white nation, right? That's I love this argument because when it was a white nation and you guys were exiled from Europe and they put you on boats and said, "Get out of here. You guys are gross." And they put you on boats. Half of you died before you got here. You also were scared to get on the water because you believed that the waves were actually sea monsters. And then you got to America and realized that you couldn't actually fend for yourself. So you slaughtered the Taino people and you slaughtered all of the other indigenous people that were here, and you stole their land. And it's so much so that you cooled the temperature of the earth because of deforestation and because of the amount of people that you killed. And so what happened was, like in the beginning, like Matoaka, right? Are you familiar with Matoaka?
No, ma'am. Can you
You don't
educate
know.
me?
So what about Pocahontas? I think you know that one.
Yeah,
That's the name that
Pocahontas.
your
Yeah, I know.
ancestors gave to her after they forced her, right, to go to they raped her. They forced her into Christianity. All of those different things, right? While Seneca was her father. So with that being said, you guys came and you took over their land. You stole everything from them.
They essayed
I'm
her.
not done. I'd like to finish. At that point, right, people that were left, they were allergic to you because you were so riddled with disease that you basically killed off everybody else by disease. Now, the thing is, you guys got so confused about how to be able to run this land that you so-called are so in control of because you couldn't feed yourselves that you went and got black people and brought them over here and imported them because they were already growing sugar and rice on their land. So the thing is, right, you have never been self-sufficient. Your people have never been self-sufficient. So even if everyone was to leave here, which I'm sure if we were all to have to go somewhere else and America said, "We'll pay you to leave and make sure that you're good wherever you're going," we'd probably all do it. So you guys could have this place. Because the thing about it is, without black labor, there would be no White House. Without black labor, there would be no infrastructure in America. Without black labor, there would be, right, no white people left because we were the ones that, and indigenous people, because they were the ones that were actually helping you to survive before you slaughtered them. And then you ended up dying of disease because you didn't know the cures that they were using after you killed them. So you went and stole more people. And then you oppressed everyone for generation after generation. 842 treaties with the indigenous people you broke. With black people, you implemented black codes. You put up posters all around the place and said the biggest threat to the white woman is the black man. And the truth of the matter is, it was you guys that were raping your wives and murdering them. And we still see those stats today. So with that being said, right, when you sit here and you talk about it being a white nation, when every single time white people needed help, it was the brown and black people that they called, I think maybe you should rethink your position.
I should rethink my position, but as I remember, black men that were considered slaves used to go because they used to be owned, and they used to go to their the owner's wife, and they would essay them. They would essay
No,
them.
the owner's wives were fucking the slaves. As a matter of fact, the owner's wives. No. Let me pull that one up for you. Actually, there's a full documentary on it about how white slaves, right, white women would rape black slaves, and then they would have the black babies, and they would kill those black babies, and they would drown them and put them in rivers and shit like that. See, the thing is, on top of that, if that woman was to keep that child, that baby would be born into servitude. So, see, the thing is, right, because of the fact, are you familiar with buck breaking?
Yeah.
So see, you guys were wildly deviant and sexual. However, Gomez de Zurara, the person that actually invented race in the first place and took it to the Catholic Church, was the one that said that the people, black people in Africa were uncivilized and hypersexual. So it's really interesting how white deflection continues to kill your community. You said that we were the worst thing since sliced bread. You said that we were selling drugs everywhere, and now you can't seem to get the needles out of the arms of your children. You said that we were the ones that were killing everybody, but every single time we look at the TV, it's you guys that are shooting up schools. You said that we were rapists, but you guys lead in that department. You said we steal, but you all lead in fraud. You said, right, that we were the uneducated bunch, but black women are the most enrolled in college, right? So when we talk about black people and we talk about white people, let's not make this a racial divide, because you'll never win this argument with me.
I think I can win this argument within...
I think you'll try.
No. I think I'll win this argument within 15 minutes, and I'll put $150 on that. And on the last point that you said, first of all, Black American men, Black American women, they cause crimes and they do.
Show me the proof.
There's percentages that you can look
Show
up.
me.
There's percentages that you can look
Show
up.
me. Because I can tell you that according to the United States Sentencing Commission and the Department of Justice, white men lead in rape. White men lead in child sexual abuse, child sexual abuse material, right? White men lead in drug convictions. White men lead in fraud, right? Remember that you guys are only about 28% of the population, white men. Right, because the rest of them are white women. So let's talk about the kind of crime that you're committing, right? So here's the thing: you're trying your best to make this an argument about how black people are inherently criminal, when the truth of the matter is that you have been taught barbarism generation after generation after generation, because somebody told you that this land was your birthright, that your strong ancestors fought for them. But the truth of the matter is they were so weak that they couldn't even build a country on their own, that they actually fucking stole. You stole a country and couldn't even maintain it, so you had to go and steal other people to maintain it for you. That's the thing. You guys are not innovative, you're inadequate.
But if they're coming to maintain it for me, who are they running under? Us. Who's in charge?
No,
Us.
because see, here's the thing. Do you know that there was literally, you guys had to create a mental disorder called drapetomania to show people that
That's false.
it's drapetomania wasn't a thing? Okay, let me give you the name. Hold on one second. I'll find it right now.
That's
Do.
I really don't want to embarrass you on
Dr.
your
Samuel
live.
Cartwright actually said that, and he was from Louisiana. He was a physician. He said drapetomania, right, was a disease that took over black people who tried to run away. That if they ran away, that they were mentally ill. So my question to you, right, you said, who were they under? It seems to me like if they were actually leaving and running away, and they were actually understanding that they didn't want to be up under you, then that would mean, right, they weren't necessarily up under you. Obviously they did the work, because you guys come in groups, and in terms of coming in groups, you come in groups and you fuck black men, right? You made black men rape their mothers, you beat them, right? You killed them in front of people, you dismembered their bodies in front of other slaves, all of those different things. That's not power, right? That's persuasion. You didn't have power. You had to use barbarism to make other people afraid, because you didn't have enough dominance to keep people afraid with just the words coming out of your mouth. You didn't have enough power to make sure that you could pass legislation to keep people enslaved, right? And when you did pass the legislation that kept people enslaved, they still went against it, all the way to where we got to the war, and we had to call in black people because you were losing so bad. And not only were you losing, you were also dying of disease, and so many of them ended up being freed eventually, because you couldn't win the war.
You know how long it took us to pass legislation, right? It didn't take us that long. It really didn't take us that long.
Right, but how often was that legislation ran over? Many times there were slaves that were actually escaping. They were killing gun store owners and having revolutions. As a matter of fact, Bacon's Rebellion, when that happened, that was when whiteness really kind of started to come into play, because of the fact that they felt like if white indentured servants were to connect with black slaves, they would have a revolution that would end up taking over the very small minority of white Protestant men who believed that they ran this country. So with that being said, everything you've ever done has been out of fear. Everything that you've ever done has been out of fear. It's never been a space where you could actually go head up and actually handle shit. You had to oppress someone in order to be able to achieve anything in this country. That's the definition of failure.
So you think we had to have somebody that we can oppress to have success in our country?
In what country? It wasn't yours. Remember, you killed everybody.
We killed everybody, took it over. If you take it over and everybody's dead,
you didn't take it over.
is it?
If you took it over, you would have been self-sufficient. You weren't.
Again, who is everybody?
No. If you took it over, you would have been self-sufficient. You were not.
You keep on talking about we had fear, we had all of this, and we had to run by other people to help us bring up the country as it is now, right?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, but the only reason why it's like this is because they listened to us. They did what we said. Whatever we would have did, they would have did. Because
who?
Let's see. most of the Native Americans probably dead. Yeah. And also minorities, which are African American, Mexican, and then
Thank you,
I,
Ford.
I think,
Ford! Oh my God. Ford, I swore up and down for like a whole year you didn't like me. Okay, that was great. That just made my night. Go ahead, Sean.
yeah. And also, this country wouldn't be what it is without white people.
Right. It wouldn't be an absolute failure. We wouldn't be trillions of dollars in debt. We wouldn't be still paying for 2 wars. We wouldn't have 1 in 4 children going hungry. We wouldn't have education being defunded. We wouldn't have migrants dying in detention centers. We wouldn't have the taxpayers paying for them to die in detention centers. We wouldn't have indigenous people confined
Oh,
to
I
their
would
own
proudly pay for
reservations.
that.
We wouldn't have, right? Right? We wouldn't have the diseases that we have. We wouldn't have the issues that we have with children being victims of sexual abuse. We wouldn't have child sex trafficking. We wouldn't have all of these different things that are actually ruining this country. So at the end of the day, your barbarism has been generational, and you guys have just made it your norm. We don't engage in it, so we don't understand how you move, which is why this country is failing as of right now, because you believe that white men are going to be the saviors of this country when every single time they've been the detriment.
White men are really superior, and I don't know if you can understand that.
Tell me,
And I,
can you tell me what gene, because that would be biological. Can you tell me what gene white men possess that makes them superior? I'd like to see it. There are plenty of DNA and anatomical models that you can take a look at to show me. I'd like
no,
to
I'm
see.
not talking about from genes.
Please pull up the anatomical model, please.
I'm talking about from
Please pull up the
perspective.
anatomical
I'm
model,
talking
please.
about from perspective.
No. Hey,
No?
real quick, chat. Let me ask you a question. If you think that white people are superior in the chat, can you give me a unicorn? I'm sorry. We're not going to waste a unicorn on that. If you don't think white people are superior, can I get a unicorn in the chat, please?
No. That's completely wrong.
You would have to show me the anatomical formula that says that white people possess a gene that makes them biologically superior. Because if you're just talking about perception, that's subjective.
All right. So I guess I'll be going on objective then.
Well, objectivity isn't fact. It's just how we feel. So again, you're going on into an argument with feelings instead of facts. And I need, right, the facts. We can't argue your feelings. Again, I can't
These
argue your
are
humanity.
actual facts. These are actual facts.
I
White
can't
people
argue
were
your humanity. If you're giving me a subjective a position, then you're telling me specifically that
Do you
you are
want
only
evidence?
arguing how you feel. Yes, I need a biological indicator that says that white men are superior. Please pull that up.
All right, so let's look. Almost every president of the
Hey,
of
real quick,
America.
I just want to make sure that I was clear on my question. I need a biological indicator that says that white men are superior, please. I don't need an excuse as to what your thoughts are about the presidents. I don't need a expose on how you feel about white men. I would like to see a biological difference that makes white men superior, please.
Biological.
Yes, because that would be the only way we could indicate superiority. Do you know that the first IQ test was actually given to a white man and a slave that could not read, and that's why you guys think that you actually have higher IQs than black people? Because everything that you've had to do, you had to deprive someone else to make yourself look better. So my question to you specifically, since you guys like to document things, my question to you specifically would be, what is the anatomic indicator, the biological indicator that says that white men are superior? I'd like to see it, please.
You literally just pointed out to me. If a black man can't figure out how to read and he's a slave, and a white man can figure out how to read, it's
There were
the same
plenty of
thing.
slaves that knew how to read. You do understand that if a slave were to reveal that they knew how to read, they could be killed. So many slaves actually had to play dumb. So we can't verify if that slave could read or not. So my question to you again is going to be, can I have the biological indicator that says that white men are superior? I'd like to see it, please.
I concede.
Thank you. What would you like to talk about next?
Well, I don't really understand why you think that let's get on to Trump. Let's get on to Trump, the
I was
man
trying to
that
stay there. You brought up race, so I just figured we go down that rabbit hole. I don't even like talking about race on my platform, but let's go. What do you want to talk about now? You said let's talk about Trump. Let's talk about him.
So you think that the health care that he's provided for over 1 million Americans that have been on Section 8 has been good or no?
What health care has he provided?
He's provided food stamps. He's provided.
He cut those.
He didn't cut them all the way. He didn't cut them all the way though.
Yeah, so we went from 1 in 5 children being food insecure, and then in 2025, when he took office, it's become 1 in 4, according to the USDA, which is the United States Department of Agriculture. So I'm trying to understand exactly how he's making life better for children,
Well,
or for people who need food.
have you heard of what he said? What he said in the press?
What did he say?
He said that he would.
Doesn't matter. My question to you would be specifically when it comes to policy, because that's how we feed kids, right? We have to go to Congress, and Congress has to allocate those funds. So my question to you specifically, when it comes to the big beautiful bill, and when it comes to any piece of policy, I would really like to know how he's made social programs better for people now, since we're seeing more people actually lose social benefits, mainly the elderly, the disabled, and children.
Well,
Mhm.
they have lost a little bit of what they've used to have, but
Oh, perfect. So then you would concede to the fact that Donald Trump has not made it better because people have lost benefits, correct?
I wouldn't concede, because then what was the point?
Well,
of
you'd
me?
have to, because if you're saying that they've lost something, right, meaning that they had it before,
It's
based
went
on the
up.
direct
It's went
actions
up.
of this administration, then I would have to ask you, how is it better when more people are hungry? And how are you fixing a problem when you're actually increasing homelessness through Section 8, tightening those guidelines, right? If a kid doesn't have a roof to go home and do homework, if a kid doesn't have a refrigerator to be able to grab a snack after school or have access to dinner every single day, then I'm trying to understand how exactly he made life better. I'd love to know, please.
Why would I make that point if I couldn't give you evidence on it?
Perfect. Then let's go ahead and concede to that one too.
No, I wouldn't concede to that one, because
Why?
at first he had them higher than what they were.
Oh, at first.
At first,
What's
he
happening
had-
right now?
I'm talking about what he's did.
Yeah, I'm asking you specifically what's happening right now, because what he's done, right, based on the big beautiful bill, is he's cut
They're
benefits for
going.
people.
They are going down, but
So
in
then
the
you would concede that they are not.
No,
that,
no, I
that
wouldn't
people are
concede.
not better off.
I would not concede, because they're gonna go way up. They're gonna go
So let me
way
ask
up.
you, when are they going up?
Probably like in a year or so,
How long is a tax plan good for?
6 months. Think so.
Oh, so you don't know how your government works.
I don't know how my government works.
You don't. Hey, Chad, how long does a tax plan go for?
It's either 6 months or 12 months, right?
I want you to look at the chat. They'll tell you.
10 years, 8 years.
So let me ask you. My question to you would be, if we're looking at a longer than his term, right? For him to make all of these things skyrocket, then you would have to tell me where in the bill it's located that these benefits are going to go up, because that would be located in this bill.
Couldn't tell you.
So you want to concede to that one too?
Look, to be honest, we were going on healthcare. Now you're talking about tax.
Tell me
money.
how he made healthcare better.
Already told you. At first, he had them higher than what they were before. Under Biden.
What happened?
Under,
Why is it not the same?
probably because of some actions that he's made.
That he took. Exactly. He cut subsidies for the ACA, which made people's healthcare premiums go up by about 26% on average. See, now we're getting warm. I like how
But-
you're doing this. Do you want to concede now?
No, because
Because that was direct action from Donald
he-
Trump. You said he was giving all these people health care, but he cut subsidies and
Do
made
you-
people's
do you
health
think
care
that it
go up
was
26%.
unreasonable? Do you
So
think
my
that it was
question,
unreasonable?
yes, absolutely.
Really.
Yes, because
So
at
you
that
think-
time we had
so you
already
think the
lost
president-
over 500.
the president of America-
Excuse me. At that time, we had already lost about 300 to 500,000 jobs. So people were already losing their jobs, on top of the fact that they were now dealing with the fact that because they had lost their jobs, and we were going through a shutdown in this period, which was around September, October area. We had to go all the way up to the Supreme Court because people weren't going to get their benefits for food. On top of that, right, during that time, the shutdown was simply because of the fact that Republicans wanted to get rid of those subsidies. When they got rid of those subsidies, that actually made insurance premiums go up 26.2%. So what I'm trying to understand specifically is, how did he provide insurance or health care to more people when he cut subsidies and he moved people off of Medicaid? I'd like to know that, because if you're saying the numbers went down of people that were covered, how is he making it better?
Concede.
Got it. All right. Well, that was fun. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of you for the night, because clearly you don't even know what you're talking about. Well, guys, that's just how that goes. That's just how that goes. That was awesome. That was really fun. I haven't had one like that in a minute. Usually they get kind of spicy. And I genuinely hate talking about race on my fucking platform. And the reason that I hate it, and I tell y'all this all the time, is because I don't like defending my humanity on the internet. Right? But when it comes to you talking about my people, or telling my people that we don't belong here when we built this bitch for free, yeah, I'm gonna work you. I'm gonna work you every time. Cause stop playing with me, guys. If you want to support my stream, my CA is AJ Miller 3309. My PP is Watch My Smoke ATL. Thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate everybody. Holy smokes, we got up to almost 250 people. That was cool as shit. If you want to debate or have a conversation, hop in the box. Let's chitter and let's chatter. I would love to talk to anybody who disagrees that Trump is destroying America, because he in fact is. Okay, so we were talking about the fact that Kash Patel, okay, he has gotten the he got the information, okay. Kash Patel, right? The former Duchess of York, Sarah Ferguson, has reached out to, has tried to put one of Prince Andrew's former girlfriends in contact with FBI Director Kash Patel. Okay, this is where we were going with this, y'all. This is where I was getting confused, because my thing is, do we really trust that if he got that information and he knows, ooh, a treat? Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
I am good. I just wanted to come up and say, of somebody that debates all the time, as you know, that was spot on debate, and you are a brilliant person, and that was straight up facts. I was literally down there listening to you, and I couldn't have been more proud of you, just being able to just stay focused on what you were saying. So very proud of you. Everybody in the chat should be very proud of how remarkably smart you are.
Coming from you, that means the absolute world. I love watching you. You're one of my favorite people on this app. And it's just like, my night is, I don't know. Yesterday was my birthday, and now it just feels like my birthday again. So thanks.
And with that being said, I don't want to take up any of your time. This is all about you. This is all about Black excellence, and you are definitely exuberating that tonight. Very proud of your live.
Oh my gosh,
I'll definitely put you definitely on my notifications. You are definitely well worth the watch, and the chat should be very grateful for what they're witnessing tonight.
Thank you so much for it. I love you. I hope you have an amazing rest of your night.
You have a good night. Take care.
You
now.
too. It's one of my favorite debaters on this app, y'all. Like, I don't even know. Like, You can't tell me shit now. You can't tell me nothing. Ford just came up here. Whew. And Ford is like the king of fact checking. Like, he's gonna tell you if you're wrong. And so it's like, no pressure, but what? Okay. All right. I can't wait to tell my Thunder Buddy. I'm so happy. Oh man. Okay, Trump supporters, if you want to hop up here, feel free to hop up and let's have a conversation. If you just got in here, guys, we are talking about some tea. Okay, the new Epstein files. Sarah Ferguson tried to connect Prince Andrew's ex-wife, ex with FBI Director Kash Patel. So Sarah Ferguson, which is the former Duchess of York, tried to put Andrew's former girlfriend in contact with FBI Director Kash Patel. Kash Patel basically just said, who is Victoria? And Victoria is the ex-girlfriend of Prince Andrew. Okay, now keep in mind that Victoria Hervey, that's her name, Victoria Hervey. She is a huge advocate for Jeffrey Epstein. She is also a huge advocate for Ghislaine Maxwell. Like, I'm talking about give them their flowers type of shit, right? So she's been telling everybody, hey, I don't believe the survivors. Like, she came out against the survivors. It was bad, right? Okay. So with that said, she got in touch with a diplomat that was in London, right? Sarah Ferguson did. And Sarah Ferguson said, hey, get this over to Kash Patel, tell Kash to call her. And then Kash was like, well, who is she? And then from there, we haven't really heard anything else that was documented. Now, keep in mind that Trump supporters are always saying shit like, you should have, Biden should have released the files. Hey, Professor, Biden should have released the files. Obama should have released the files. That's interesting because why didn't Sarah reach out to them? Why didn't she reach out to their FBI directors? Why did she feel so comfortable reaching out to this one? Is what I'm trying to find out. Now, keep in mind that Victoria, right, after all the whole thing that happened in 2008 with Jeffrey Epstein, she was still cool with him. As a matter of fact, when he got out of jail, he sent her some money. And she said it was the worst mistake that she ever made. But it wasn't the worst mistake she ever made to advocate for Jeffrey Epstein and fucking Ghislaine Maxwell or her horrible fucking dating choices. It was that she took the money. Okay. He gave her 15,000 euros. That's what he gave her to help with her debts. That's what he said. I don't know what debt she had, but okay. Now, in a 2009 email that Miss Ferguson sent over to Jeffrey Epstein, she said that Jeffrey Epstein was the brother that she always wished for. She said that. And then, right, she said that, wait. Oh yeah. After that was when she reached out. Okay. So the thing is, and like I like to tell people, like I said, everybody else, she is not being committed. Like, there's been no crime committed that we know of as of now. Does it seem shady? Yes. Is there a crime? No. Not yet, because we don't know the details of why she needed to be contacted. For all we know, she could have been trying to contact him to say that she was a victim. We don't know, right? So with that being said, when we don't have the full undisclosed communications between them two, we can't automatically assume that there was a crime committed. So we have to make sure that we stay objective on this. Oh, snap. I did not mean to. I don't think you're a Trump supporter. Are you a Trump supporter? I don't think you know you're here. That's okay. Okay. So with that information, right? Like I said, we know that it is a bit murky, but again, like I said, until we have proven evidence, we don't want to be spreading misinformation and disinformation. We want to make sure that we stay as objective as we possibly can. Hi. Kurt, do you know you're here? I don't think Kurt Adams knows he's here, but we love you, Kurt. You have a good night, man. So anyways, okay. So the other thing is, what we found out doesn't establish a pattern, right? It's not it's glitching. Am I glitching? Oh no. No. Tell me when I'm back. Tell me when you can see me. Okay, cool. So anyways, well, this also does not establish a pattern between Cash Patel and Sarah Ferguson, right? And Victoria Hervey, because all we know is that the contact was made because Cash Patel got the message, and we know that he asked who this lady was. What's really crazy is that, do y'all notice, right? We haven't heard from Cash. Cash been real quiet. So my question would be, after this communication, why you get so quiet? Or could it be the drinking? It could be that. Because, I mean, if he's actually, doing what he can to get his life together, I love that for him. And I want him to be okay. I want anybody to be okay that's an alcoholic. Because I'm a recovering alcoholic and I know what that freedom feels like. So I'm not going to knock anybody's recovery ever. Here we go with the news, guys. Luigi Mangione pled guilty in federal court over United Healthcare CEO killing. Keep in mind, guys, that he did not plead guilty to murder. He pled guilty to stalking. So here's the thing. This is the legal strategy that his legal team is trying to use. Basically, what they're going to do is they have him plead guilty to stalking, the felony stalking, because in the commission of that crime, a murder occurred. But what he did today was he allocated to the court and spoke to the wife and said specifically, and I quote, "I followed Brian Thompson, and I shot him and he died." That was his direct quote. And so with that being said, he did go for the Brian Thompson. He did go for the stalking charge. Now, here's the cool thing about that legal strategy. If for all of the Mangionistas, I don't know, that's a whole thing. I'm not a Manginista, but I mean, I'm not necessarily mad at him. But here's what I'll say. When we're pleading to the federal stalking charge versus the federal murder charge, what happens is, years down the road, what he would be appealing would be a stalking charge, not a murder charge. It's much harder to appeal those. Now, the thing about that is, in the event that that the court accepts this plea, right, which I believe that they've already accepted the plea, because the judge asked him, he said, "You do know you could spend the rest of your life in jail for this particular crime?" And he said, "Yes, I do understand that." So with that being said, that does not mean he doesn't have appeals. He's entitled to that. Now, what happens is, they're going to try to get the murder charge looked at as double jeopardy, because a murder was committed in the commission of stalking. They can technically invoke double jeopardy on this case. However, the court would have to accept it. So until we know if the court is going to knock down the murder plea, we can't be sure of that yet. So we're just waiting to hear about whether that murder charge is going to be dropped or if the judge is going to accept it. Obviously, he's going to have to talk with the family. He's going to discuss things with attorneys, that kind of thing, and they'll come up with a plan. But as of right now, what we do know is that the death penalty is off of the table. And we also know that he's currently pleaded guilty to stalking. Now, Thompson was shot from behind on a Manhattan street outside the conference. Police said ammunition recovered in the investigation had the words "delay," "deny," and "depose" written on them. Language resembling criticism of how insurance companies handle claims. For those of you who have been living under a rock, that is basically what happened. Luigi Mangione said "fa fa fa" to Brian Thompson because he was pissed off with insurance companies. Supposedly. Allegedly. Okay. Authorities have also said Mangione's writings contained harsh criticism of the health insurance industry. Mangione told the court that his actions followed years of dealing with severe back pain and frustrations navigating the healthcare insurance systems. But here's an important nuance that sometimes we forget. Thompson was 50 years old, right? Mangione was never a United Healthcare customer, first of all. According to police and the company, Thompson was 50 years old, had worked for the United Health Group for roughly 2 decades, and became CEO of United Healthcare in 2021. He left behind his wife and 2 sons. Earlier this year, a federal judge dismissed additional charges that could have made Mangione eligible for the death penalty. So that took the death penalty off the table when those previous charges were dropped. The charges to which he has now pleaded guilty can still result in life imprisonment. However, he can still get the murder charge thrown out if double jeopardy can apply in this case. Now, his federal sentencing is scheduled for December the 18th, but now comes another major legal fight. Mangione's attorneys want his New York State murder case dismissed. Their argument is essentially you cannot prosecute him twice for the same killing. They are raising double jeopardy arguments, and New York law can impose additional restrictions on successive state and federal prosecutions. New York prosecutors, however, are still pursuing their case. Now, the thing about that is we have to make sure that the umbrella of the federal stalking statute would cover that murder. If it goes only to the action of stalking, then that murder case can actually proceed. However, you can also talk about the fact that in the commission of stalking, right, that someone lost their life. So is it the stalking that led to the murder, or is it was the murder a result of the stalking? If it was, we can still use that stalking charge and say, well, that's encompassed with that. You can't charge them for something when we've already said the stalking led to the murder. The whole end result of it was a murder. So with that being said, are we going to take the murder charge, or can we take the stalking charge and umbrella this whole thing? So it's going to be really interesting to see what they file in New York and how that's going to keep going. I would just keep a lookout for any amended charges in New York. Keep on the lookout for that, because they can very well amend their case to be able to still pursue charges, even if it's not a murder charge. They can easily say, okay, fine, we're not going to take a stalking charge. We'll throw another one on you. I don't know. I can look at the federal statutes, but I don't want to give you that one off the top of my head, because then it would be disingenuous, and that's not fair. Another U.S. aircraft carrier is heading toward the Middle East, which is the USS Abraham Lincoln. Excuse me. I was going to say George Washington. We'll talk about George Washington in a minute. It's a whole thing. Hi.
What's up?
Nothing.
Hey, what are you guys crying about? It's like a 9-month deployment. What are you guys bitching
Are you in the
about?
military?
Yeah, I was in the Army. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I think that if we know
I did
that
a
people
16-month deployment, dude. So 9 months is like pretty fucking amazing.
Oh, okay.
Were you in the military though?
I wasn't.
Yeah, because you're fat and overweight, dude. You would never
Correct.
make it.
You are correct.
Yeah, you're an overweight, unproductive citizen. You're a piece of shit. You suck off our social programs. You're literally a dumb, ugly, fat monkey. Like
You're trying so hard for that reaction, and you're
I don't
flopping
know how
out.
else to put it, bro.
That sucks
you're
for
literally
you,
a low
bud.
IQ monkey.
Hey,
dude.
you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy is that you said that you were in the military.
Yeah, and I'm proud to talk shit to you because you're a dumb,
I
low
love that
IQ
for.
monkey.
Oh, I know who you are. You're the
Oh,
one that
you
comes
do?
up here and wants to be
Oh, you're
racist,
gonna
but
keep
never
me-
has a source. He never has a source. Please don't report him on my live. Go to his page directly and report it. Don't report my live, because y'all gonna report me. I'm not worried about that man. He comes up here often and just wants to say really crazy shit and never has a source. Like if you want to be racist and you actually have sources, I could kind of fuck with that. Like I don't necessarily care about the racism. That's cool. Everybody's gonna call me fat every day. My man is not complaining, and he hasn't for 20 years. But whole thing is, right, he comes up here every time and he just says racist shit. Now, like I said, if you are racist and intellectual, maybe we can talk. But if you just racist and you ain't got shit, I'm not just gonna sit here and let you berate me and with nothing to argue about. That's crazy, because then you would want me to argue about your personal whatever it is, and you're not even on camera. So what are we doing here? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing? He came on a different a platform. He was on the other one, but that's okay. I blocked him. He's going to come on another one. He comes every now and then just to let me know. He said, I cooked you. That's crazy. Barbarism. Y'all see how that works? Anyways, the USS Abraham Lincoln originally left San Diego on November 21st and arrived in the Middle East in January. The U.S.-Iran war began on February 28th. The Lincoln has remained heavily involved ever since. The deployment was originally expected to end months ago. Instead, sailors have remained at sea while the conflict continued. The carrier has now spent more than 260 uninterrupted days at sea, which the Associated Press, which, by the way, guys, in order to get these stories, I do usually compare about 5 sources. Whoever's reporting on those sources, what I do is I compare them all, and then I pull out the commonalities, and that's how I write your news for the day. So particularly, the Associated Press was just described it as record-setting, and the reports from aboard the ship have raised concerns about both supplies and the mental health of sailors. The Navy itself has said that combat disrupted traditional supply routes in the Middle East. That resulted in shortages and problems delivering mail. The Navy says commanders prioritize food first, hygiene supplies second, and mail third. Officials say sailors currently have access to clean water and healthy meals, which I think is bullshit because most of the sailors are saying that's not true. And I trust our service members before I trust the people who are paid to cover up for the government. But Democratic lawmakers are demanding more information about the conditions aboard the Lincoln and the psychological impact of such an unusually long deployment. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth disputes the characterizations of conditions aboard the ship, saying reports have been, quote, completely misrepresented. Meanwhile, the USS George Washington has left Vietnam and crossed through waters, putting it on a route toward the Indian Ocean and eventually the Middle East. And there's a major strategic trade-off. Moving the George Washington west means the United States could temporarily have no aircraft carrier operating in the Pacific. That's important because the Pacific is where the United States normally maintains significant naval power to deter China and protect allies, including Japan, South Korea, and the Philippines. So, meanwhile, the Middle East mission isn't ending. The U.S. has reimposed a blockade on Iranian ports around the Strait of Hormuz, and Hegseth says America can maintain that blockade indefinitely, end quote. So why does that matter? Because aircraft carriers are among the most powerful weapons America has, but they aren't unlimited, right? Every carrier sent to one part of the world is a carrier that isn't in another part of the world. And we tend to protect a lot of different places. We could strike from anywhere in the world if we wanted to. But because of the fact that we're moving ourselves around, we're actually leaving a lot of our allies and the people we protect as sitting ducks. And the more that you remove from other countries that you have relations with, the more they remove benefits from you. Yikes. Anyway, so this story is two specific things I want you guys to pay attention to. How long can thousands of sailors remain deployed under wartime conditions before readiness and mental health begin to suffer? That is something that we need to know so that we make better decisions in the future. If America moves another carrier out of the Pacific Ocean to sustain operations against Iran, what military presence is it giving up near China to do it? Right? Keep in mind that we're down on munitions, right? Morale is down, recruitment is down, and we are opening ourselves up to be attacked or our allies to be attacked in spaces because of the fact that we don't want to keep them there, and we want to put a blockade in a place that doesn't even we shouldn't even fucking be there, guys. I'm trying to say that diplomatically, but Jesus Christ, that just pisses me off. Now, Donald Trump has asked the Supreme Court if he can continue ballroom operations until a decision is reached. Now, if we know anything about the federal appeals court decision, what we know is that they said you can't build the ballroom above ground right now, right? Any above ground operations, we ain't fucking with that. Anything underground, you got it. That's all you. So what we don't know is what's going to be built. We don't know what's going to happen. And we don't even have a clear plan on what the fuck we're going to do if the court says no. Like, who's going to build all that shit, right? The Trump administration is now making a national security argument for the Supreme Court. Solicitor General John Sauer says... For the Supreme Court, Solicitor General John Sauer says the construction isn't simply a fancy ballroom. He describes it as part of a, quote, integrated military complex, end quote, and says the secure ballroom space is necessary for national security. The administration also argues that leaving the White House as an open construction site makes the complex more difficult to secure. My sources for this particular story were BBC, Reuters, AP, NPR, and don't make me lie to you, girl. Oh, I only had 4 sources for this one. Sorry, guys. But these are the commonalities that I got here. The appeals court temporarily delayed its own rulings so the administration could ask the Supreme Court to intervene. The lower court decision is scheduled to take effect August the 21st. So the administration wants the Supreme Court to act before then. this is more going to be a question. Me personally, I think it's going to be more of a question of the slippery slope of how much executive power we give, right? Because if we're saying that, if we're giving a president the opportunity to be able to, one, use private funds to build anything, right, or to be able to allocate tax dollars that haven't been approved by Congress, we are extending executive authority way too fucking much, and we're taking away the balance of the system of checks and balances that allows for Congress to balance a budget. So the thing about that is, I think we have to be very, very careful, because when we create that slippery slope, you also create a slope for somebody else to come in and knock that ballroom down and tear up what's under that ground and do it again. So we have to be very careful when we do things like that. What was the other thing I needed to let y'all know? Oh, I have to tell you guys, I don't know if y'all saw it, but the new episode of the podcast is finally uploaded. I did it. I did it today because I have been fighting with myself for about 2 weeks. I said, you know what? I am going to, no, actually it was like 3. So I had been fighting with myself about this freaking podcast. By the time I had finished writing it the first time, it was almost 2 hours long. And I was like, oh, nobody's going to do that. I can't even get people to sit for a 5-minute freaking video to tell them that the world is ending. But, thanks, Amanda. So the thing is, right, I wrote this one and I just published it and recorded it today. And it is really, really cool. And it is called The Invention of Common Sense. And if you guys know anything about my podcast, if anybody's listened, I address 3 points in every single one of my podcasts: politics, history, and psychology. Because I think if we actually understand how people's minds work, we can have better conversations. If we understand the history behind it and we share that history with other people, and we understand the psychology behind it, that allows for us to have more open conversations, right? And the politics of it all lets us know how our government works and what's actually happening. So I think it's important that we address all 3 of those aspects so that we know how to talk to each other and we know how to appeal to other people so that we can actually open the door to talk to each other. Because it's really important to remember that the same people that we shit on almost every day on this app are the same people that have to vote again. Right? So we don't want to push people into a space where we're telling them that they're stupid. We want to push them into a space that makes them look at themselves. If y'all hear me say it on this platform all the time, I can't argue your humanity, and I'm not going to, right? I can argue with you facts. That's what I can do. So what I would say is you guys freaking check it out. It's called You Ought to Know Better. And the name of my podcast comes from my granny, because everybody, if you had a granny, like a great granny growing up, I don't know if y'all ever had one, but everybody came to your grandma's house because everybody was going through some shit. And my granny would always say, you ought to know better than that. And she would say that all the time. And it used to drive me crazy, but then now I get it, because it was stop and think before you actually do things and break them down so you understand what you're walking into. And that is exactly what I wanted to do with this podcast. And that's why I created it. This would be I believe my 8th episode. And so I am super excited because we're almost 10 episodes in, and it is my baby. It is one of the things that makes me extremely, extremely happy to share with you guys. And I hope that you guys will check it out. This is a really great episode. So you can check it out, like I said, on Apple Podcasts. You can check it out on iHeart. You can check it out on Spotify. And I did upload it to my YouTube channel as well. All of those links are in my bio if you guys would like to take a listen, and follow me on all of those platforms. Those listening hours and you guys following me is what makes my platform actually move. It makes it what it is. Without you guys, this is nothing. I'm sitting here talking to myself. So you guys are so greatly appreciated. Every day that you come here, every day that you guys hang around just to listen to what I have to say, I appreciate y'all so much. Y'all don't even understand. This has become such an amazing family to me. It's become something that's really special. And at first, I was so scared to walk out on a ledge, because I was like, what if I'm not smarter than everybody? And what if everybody thinks like I'm a nerd? I used to get picked on all the time in school because I was the bookworm. I was the person that people always picked on. And my parents, like, they would always keep a set of Encyclopedia Britannicas in the house. We grew up poor, and my parents always had it. And so I would challenge myself to memorize the encyclopedia, because I never didn't want to know something. And the more I realize that, thank you, Ford. The more I realize that I couldn't know everything as I started growing, getting older. I stopped putting so much pressure on myself. And lately, I have been in this space of really discovering who I am since I got sober. And my sober date, I'll be 2 years sober, September 16th. So I'm super excited. I'm almost there. Life's good. Right. I'm just in a really great place, and life is so different. So, being able to share all of the things that I know with you guys makes life amazing for me. And I'm so glad that you guys show up every night. And I'm so glad that you guys want to hear what I have to say. Because I do have a lot to say. So, so I appreciate you guys, but I think I am going to call it for tonight. I do have to get ready to go, but as I do, I'm going to leave you with something positive, as I do every single night. Guys, remember, right, that there are moments in your life where you're going to question everything about you. And I don't want you to take those moments as moments to feel like because you're questioning yourself that you're doing something wrong. When you start to ask yourself questions, you're unpacking all of the beauty that's trapped inside of you. You're starting to ask yourself things so that you can pull out the real you, and that's okay. Never be afraid to question yourself. Never be afraid to push yourself. Never be afraid to tell yourself, I love you. Never be afraid to tell yourself how powerful you are. Because remember, when you don't do it, someone else gets to dictate it for you, and nobody deserves that power. So let's get those unicorns in the chat so we can do our closing here as we do every single night, guys. Keep in mind that if you don't have enough sparkle today, that's okay. I love you so much. And if you need anything, I'm here for you. If you need a shoulder, if you need a friend, please feel free to reach out. That's okay. Take time to take care of yourself, and remember that you're the most important person in your life. If you do have enough sparkle, please sprinkle some into this dark ass world. We can always use your light. And as always, my sweet friends, in a world full of jackasses, always remember to be a unicorn. I love you all so much, and I'll see you tomorrow. Good night.